What's up everybody and Happy New Year. My name is Adrian and you're watching Drive to Thrive. So as you can see, it's looking a little bit different here. I am sitting inside instead of my outdoor studio. Unfortunately, we have this crazy cold spell and my studio outside has turned into a freezer and none of my electronics work out there. So it's back to the couch here. So in this video, I want to take a look at Lightspeed, take a look at some charts, some articles, why the stock has been selling off so rapidly, and if possibly this is a great time to get in. But before we do that, I just want to say thank you to each and one of you for supporting this channel, for commenting, liking, sharing, and all that good stuff. It means the world to me. And also, hopefully we can keep this momentum going and we can grow this channel to ultimately 100,000 subscribers. So thank you so much to each and one of you, and let's go over to my computer. So starting off on this weekly chart here, I just want to show you guys what Lightspeed has been going through. So we have this a massive rise in price since about that COVID bottom here in the March 16th. We had this crazy spike, and then something happened here in September that has caused the stock to sell off of almost 72%. We're down right now. So let's go and let's take a look at a few of these articles to figure out what happened here. So in September, Spruce Point Capital Management, which is a short seller firm, has released a report accusing Lightspeed of lacking transparency in revealing key information while overstating its growth prospects. The short seller said that the financial and competitive reality is less rosy than the company stated, and that its share price is clearly overvalued. Additionally, Spruce Point said the acquisitions were not performing as well as the company had reported. These caused Lightspeed stock to fall by 30%. Now, furthermore, Spruce Point Capital is accusing Lightspeed of overstating its customer count significantly and stated, "We question why Lightspeed reported 50,000 plus customers up through November 2018 and then ceased customer count disclosure to investors when coming public in 2019. Spruce Point Capital believes Lightspeed organic growth is decelerating and its recent acquisitions will add to operational costs and will delay the latter's path to profitability." So that report came out, which has caused the stock to go down by 30%. And then there was an earnings release that saw losses climb to 59.1 million despite a 193% year-over-year increase in earnings, and a massive sell-off in stock endured. So that is kind of the reason why Lightspeed has been selling off so much. It's a combination of the earnings report kind of showing more losses than expected, and also the short seller article here. So now let's take a look and let's see what are some of these bullish and bearish cases for this stock. Continuing with this article, they have a bullish case highlighted in here. So in the fiscal second quarter of 2022, Lightspeed increased its sales by 193% year over year to 133 million, and subscription sales accounted for 45% of total revenue. So they have almost tripled their sales, and 45% of that money came from subscriptions, which is great because those are recurring charges. So that means those are customers will keep paying in the future. So Lightspeed is a well-diversified company as its suite of solution is available on over 100 countries and 156,000 customer locations. In Q2, 62% of sales were derived from the retail business and the rest from Lightspeed restaurant and hospitality verticals. Lightspeed forecasts revenue to range between 520 million and 535 million in fiscal 2022, representing year-over-year growth of 138%. So that is great. That is the bullish sign or the bullish cases for this stock. There is also another bullish statement that I wanted to say is this, that it's a rising average revenue per customer is also trending higher by 59% year over year at a $270 per month in Q2, indicating an increase in customer spending and engagement. So that is also a bullish thing for this case here. Now let's see what the bearish case is for Lightspeed. So despite the significant pullback, Lightspeed is valued at a market cap of 6.22 billion. If the company reports sales of around 530 million in 2022, the stock is still trading in the forward price to sale multiple of almost 12, which is steep. Given its top line growth is expected to decelerate rapidly in the upcoming quarters, analysts covering Lightspeed stock also expect it to remain unprofitable on an adjusted basis in the near term. And then there was one more thing I found in this article that stated, since Lightspeed still has lots of room to grow, that could mean there is more money to spend. Like other e-commerce companies have distribution networks, for example, which Lightspeed currently lacks. So that could also add to more money being spent, meaning their balance sheet going out of whack here. I did take a look at the current balance sheet, and as of Q2 of 2021, they had total assets of about 4.11 billion versus liabilities of 267 million. So their debt to asset is 6.5%. So they're more than capable of expanding, and their assets should be able to cover their liabilities. So not too worried about the expansion factor. Now we'll go on back to here. So Bay Street has a 12-month average price target of about $123.5 for Lightspeed stock, which would mean over 100% gains from current price target. Now I've seen anything between 109 to that 125, I think is the highest. So let's just call it somewhere in the middle, around $115, which from current price, we are looking at an increase of about over 200%. So that is the upside for Lightspeed if everything turns around and all this negativity starts to kind of dissipate and we get another bounce. So now let's take a look at these charts. So since Lightspeed is a Canadian company, you can trade it on the TSX, but for this video, I'll be taking a look at it on the New York Stock Exchange. Now the price difference is about 36.22 US versus 45.84 Canadian, so $10 give or take here. So anything I talk about, just add $10 for the Canadian market. Let's kind of zoom in and see what the daily chart is showing us. Right off the bat, we see this gaping hole right here that will get filled in eventually. The stock market doesn't like to see any kind of gaps, and these will get filled. So that leads me to believe that their target of about that $115 is pretty close. If you wanted to be conservative, you could put it at about $100 in the near future. Now zooming in further, we can see that we do have a gap here that hasn't got filled in yet to the downside since about November 2020, which we are currently filling in. If I just move over and zoom out, you can see that we have broken this support level here at around $40, and we are trending towards this $30 support. Now this is what I expect the bottom to come in, but again, with these stocks you just never know, so anything can happen now. But I think it is way more attractive to get in at these price levels than it was back here at about that $80 or anything about $100. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll be watching to see how does Lightspeed respond down to these price targets. Do we start to see some kind of support here, or do we just keep on like slicing through here and going lower? That'd be a bad sign. Now we also have earnings coming up here on February 3rd, so keep an eye out on that. That could kind of set up the tone for the next few months after. And guys, if you're enjoying this video and learning something new, please don't forget to smash that like button. It does mean a lot and it helps the channel to grow. So thank you so much for doing that, and let's keep on plugging away here. So zooming out again, still on the daily chart here, we see that the MACD is in that bearish momentum. Our stochastic does have room to go down. So again, that would fit the bill that we will probably go down all the way to that $30 here in the next week or two, probably before earnings come out. And this is where I'll be deploying the last of my investment. So because nobody's perfect, nobody's got that magic ball, I do like Lightspeed as long-term investment, and I started buying in at about that $50. This I thought was a really strong support here, going all the way back to like December of 2020. January we had lots of reactions along here, so I started buying in at $55. Now as we can see, that started breaking down. Now next support level was here around that $40. Again, we bounced around thinking this could be the bottom. I did deploy another couple of percent here, but now we are breaking lower, and at $30 is going to be my final deployment of my overall investment that I wanted to do. And that's why it's super important to just not take a bulk of your money and just invest it right away. Maybe break it down into thirds or quarters or whatever makes sense for you, and just kind of try to dollar cost average in case the stock does go down, like in the case of Lightspeed. So going over to our weekly chart here, and again we see this overextension here on the MACD to the downside. Now if you see what happened here when we were all bullish here. We were super overextended to the upside, and we did rotate down to the zero line, down to the mean here. And that's what I expect to happen in the near future with Lightspeed, but to the upside. So this thing will start to rotate higher, and we can probably start to see definitely about $54, $55, and then looking to hit that 200-day moving average from the bottom side, so about $72. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion, and this is what I see kind of from the chart. Now taking a look at here at our stochastic. So our stochastic is sitting flat here. So this hasn't been flat since about like March of 2020. So again, the peak of COVID, the peak of like fear here. So that's the last time we were flat on this oversold signal here. So again, bullish scenario in my perspective. And now let's see what the institutions have been doing. So overall, for the last 12 months here, we have about 2.51 billion of inflows versus 464.39 million of outflows. So going down now and seeing some of the ownership. So I've sorted this out by ownership in the company. So the highest ownership is about 2.866%, and that is by Capital World Investors. Now their last reporting came on November 16th, and they show a change in share increase of 75.1%. And second largest holder is BlackRock Inc. Again, they reported on November 9th, and they have increased their position by 13.4%. And then these guys, nothing's available. Then we got McKinsey here at 19.3, then 0. So overall, looks like way more people have added in. But again, these are numbers from November. So let's see what happened in December and possibly in January here. Now, if I sort this by date here, so two companies have reported their change in position size here. One of them being UBS Asset Management Americas back here on December 14th, and they have increased their position by 8.3%. And then Balyasny Asset Management LLC on December 1st, but they don't state anything. So overall, looks like way more institutions are coming in and buying this thing up. Now looking at the short interest, so as of December 15th, 2021, the short interest on Lightspeed is sitting about 2.61%. So that is pretty low. And if we take a look at this short interest over time, we see that we kind of peaked here around that September 15th, we were at 315 million, September 30th, 298, and October 15th, 318 million of short interest. And now last reporting as of December 15th, we're down to 146 million. So that is definitely going down, which means again that bottom is coming in and there isn't as much money to be made to the downside anymore. And now lastly, let's go over to some options here. So as always, I do like to go through some of these options. They do provide an opportunity of bigger returns, but you got to be careful with these. So I want to be super cautious, and I usually go out at least a year. So I got two contracts that I'm looking at. Is this Friday, December 16th, 2022, which gives me about 343 days. And then the next one is this Friday, January 20th, 2023, which is over 378 days away. And the strike prices that appeal to me is this Delta 80 here. So at strike at 25, so there's $25 strike or 22.5. Now looking at the $25 strike, you're looking to pay up about $16.20, so about $1,620. And on this 22.50, you're looking to pay $17.80. But if you scroll down and you do an extra month out, you actually end up paying less money if you get that extra month, and you pay about $16.10 for $25 strike and about $17.70 for this 22.50. Now looking at the spreads, looks like the spreads on this 22.50 are closer than anything else. So those are probably the ones I'd be tempted to buy. Now the break even on this trade would be $22.50 plus $17.70, which works out to $40.20. So again, current price is sitting at $36.07. So let's see, $40.20 puts us, call it somewhere up here. So from current price, so you only need this stock to go up about 11% and you'd be breaking even and making some money on this. So I think it's very doable, very possible. That's why I like these options as a long-term investment. Now that is it for today, guys. Once again, if you learned something new or if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to smash that like button. And if you enjoyed it so much, take a look at my other videos, perhaps my take on the cryptos, where I highlight some of the levels I'm waiting for. And if crypto is in your kind of industry and you're not interested in investing in crypto, then take a look at QuantumScape. But thank you so much for now, and we'll see you in another video. Ciao, ciao.